Was Jesus really tempted? It's easy to read the Gospels and quietly assume Jesus had it easier than we do. That because he was without sin, temptation must have bounced off him the way it never truly could for the rest of us. Scripture doesn't support that assumption. If anything, it insists on the opposite. Speaking about Jesus in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 15, "For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin." Not tempted in a watered-down symbolic way. In all points. The writer of Hebrews is deliberate here. Jesus' temptation wasn't a formality he passed through untouched. It was real enough to be felt, real enough to require actual resistance. The clearest picture of this comes right at the start of his ministry. After 40 days alone in the wilderness without food, he afterward hungered. And it's precisely in that state of genuine physical weakness that the tempter came to him. Quoted from Matthew chapter 4, verses 2 and 3. Not to a rested, well-fed Jesus at the height of his strength, to a hungry, exhausted man at his most vulnerable. Each temptation offered something legitimately appealing. Bread after weeks of hunger, protection from harm, authority over every kingdom on earth, offered outright. These weren't trivial suggestions. They were aimed at real human needs and real human ambition. Jesus resisted each one by returning to Scripture in Matthew chapter 4, verse 4, rather than to his own strength. It is written, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God." He didn't wave the temptation away as beneath him. He answered it the way anyone else would have to, by choosing deliberately in the moment to hold to something greater than the immediate need in front of him. That same real struggle shows up again at the end of his life, in the Garden of Gethsemane, hours before his arrest. From Luke chapter 22, verse 44. "And being in an agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground." This is not the language of someone gliding untouched through suffering. He asked more than once if there was any other way spoken in Matthew chapter 26, verse 39. "O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me." The struggle was real enough to produce physical agony. And still, in that same breath, "Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt." This matters for a simple reason. It means Jesus' example isn't the story of someone who never had to fight for it. It's the story of someone who fought for it every time and chose rightly anyway, hungry, exhausted, afraid, and still faithful. Then from Hebrews chapter 2, verse 18, "For in that he himself hath suffered being tempted, he is able to succor them that are tempted." He isn't only a model to imitate from a distance. He's able to help precisely because he knows from the inside exactly what the fight costs. MJI LightWorker, www.stairwaytoheaven.org